Today we're talking about larger-than-life characters. We read to escape. When we read, we put ourselves into the roles of the characters we're reading about. In a sense, we become those people. This is why it is so important for hero characters to be relatable in some way. It's really hard to connect with characters who are not likable. In short, we really can't insert ourselves into the stories that we read and use our imaginations to become those characters unless they're flawed, unless they have insecurities, unless they really represent real people. So let's take that and then look at the idea of larger-than-life characters. By definition, these people are perceived as bigger, better, more powerful, more magnetic, having more gravitas, and generally being loved, admired, feared, respected to a greater degree than the normal person. So how do you make them likable? When you create your characters, particularly a hero character, don't set out with the intention of creating a larger-than-life character. By doing that, you are potentially creating a caricature of what you perceive to be larger than life. You may end up creating a superhero or a supervillain type character. These are characters who are hugely good or hugely bad with excessively huge skill sets or enormous senses of what's right versus wrong or both. So unless you're actually creating a superhero, I suggest that you look at the larger than life character in a different way, that you construct them differently. They need to have flaws, warts, fears, and insecurities. They need to be ordinary people. And then when they face obstacles, they respond in a way that the ordinary person doesn't typically respond. They act in a way that is exceptional. Take Scarlett O'Hara. She's a pampered Southern belle. She feels that she is deserving of whatever it is she wants. Mammy dresses her. Her pa dotes on her. Young men around her cherish her. They want her. No one expects her to take it upon herself and act in a heroic manner. When faced with the extreme loss brought on by the Civil War, that is just what she does. She acts exceptionally. She vows, with God as her witness, never to be hungry again. This sets her on a path to save Tara, the land her father owned. In this effort, she acts out of character, our perception of what her character is. She faces challenges and she overcomes obstacles that might crush an ordinary person. And these obstacles do crush other people in the story. She becomes larger than life. Another example is Wigan. He is an ordinary kid who's bullied by kids at school and even by his own brother. Yet he is the one who is chosen to go to battle school, and there he is trained to be a warrior. Unbeknownst to him, he is the chosen one. Because of his military and tactical skills, he's groomed to defeat the buggers. He doesn't want this role, but he ultimately embodies it. The attention, good and bad, is always focused on him. Training nearly breaks him. Bullying nearly breaks him. But he perseveres and he becomes a leader to his classmates. He defeats the buggers. He is larger than life. Other excellent examples of larger-than-life characters are Harry Potter, who is an ordinary kid faced with defeating evil in the magical world. Frodo and Bilbo Baggins. Both are ordinary hobbits who embark on huge adventures. Bilbo, for example, leaves the safety of his hobbit hole home to help the dwarves, who he doesn't even know, reclaim their home. He goes outside his comfort zone. Atticus Finch. Atticus does the unpopular thing by representing an accused rapist, a black man in the South. He does this because he believes in truth, justice, and honor, and he does it at the risk of his own reputation and safety. He becomes larger than life doing what other people might not do. Katniss Everdeen saves her sister by taking her place. How many of us would do that, sacrifice ourselves, and then ultimately succeed where so many others have failed? Hercule Poirot and Sherlock Holmes are two larger-than-life detectives who have deductive reasoning skills that far surpass the ordinary person. They see what we do not, always seeking justice. And the fact that they see the way they do makes them larger than life. Jay Gatsby, Stephanie Plum, Dorothy Gale, Each of these characters has flaws and insecurities. They are far from perfect, but they act in ways that set them apart from everyday people. And that is what makes them heroic. That is what makes them larger than life. So when you create the heroes in your stories, think about their greatest fears and insecurities and make them face those very things. The situations in which you put your characters and the decisions they make when faced with those situations are what turns them into larger than life people who are unforgettable. Good luck and happy writing.